Hey, this is part 2 of Module C, Unit 2, Lesson 3 video notes. And we stopped with commensalism, so we're going to come over here and see it. We're on page 110. In commensalism, one organism benefits from the reaction and the other is unaffected. So that's what you would write here. One example of commensalism, let's see, for example, antbirds in tropical forests follow behind army ants. They eat small insects driven from plant leaves by the stampeding ants. High above the ground. So it would be the antbirds and the army ants. That's going to be your example of commensalism. And then here's a quick check. It says, hyenas usually hunt for food alone, but some scientists discovered that hyenas will sometimes hunt with packs of wolves. The hyenas benefit from being able to catch more food with the pack. The wolves benefit from the hyena's ability to break through bones. Delightful. An excellent sense of smell. What type of relationship is this explained? So we know that this is a symbiotic relationship. Which symbiotic relationship? It's going to be a mutualistic relationship because both animals benefit. All right. Parasitism. So that's going to be on 111. So let's see this down. There's parasitism right there. So the definition is not there. Predators kill and eat the parasites, feed on hosts. That's gross. Oh, right here, right here. While the parasite benefits from this interaction, the host is harmed. So parasitism is when one organism benefits from the interaction and the other is harmed. So that's this definition. One example of parasitism is fleas or ticks. Say fleas or ticks on a dog. So fleas and ticks are not helpful to the dog. And they can hurt the dog. So that would be an example of parasitism. What is involved in competition for limited resources among populations? So this is on page 112. So let's go down to 112. There we go. I forgot the question. Okay. What is involved in competition for limited resources among population? Competition for limited resources among populations involves costs and benefits. So this is going to be costs and benefits. And who tends to compete for resources? Let's check it out. Organisms with similar needs tend to compete for resources. So that's this one, organisms with similar needs. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, then we just have a few more. Definition of competition is here highlighted. The interactions that occur between organisms when they both seek the same resources in an ecosystem. That's called competition. So that's your definition. And then an example of competition for resources. Let's see. For example, in dry environments, many organisms compete for limited water. That would be an example. Okay. And then we have to go to page 115. So let's see. We're on page 112. We need to go to 115. So that's 113, 114. Excuse me, 114. This is 115. Okay. So this says, our notes ask, explain how the El Nino weather cycle affects competition in a population. So let's see. Shifts, changes. So it caused severe droughts. Crops and livestock populations decreased. Competition for food increased among human groups because of the extreme droughts. On the other side of the world, it caused flooding, where mosquito populations flourish. So it's almost like you could cut this in half. You could say in one half you can talk about the drought and the effect of the drought, which is all right here. And on the other half there was flooding and the effect of the flooding, which was mosquito populations flourished, viral diseases increased, etc. So that is all for our notes, I think. Have a great day.